Good morning and a welcome back to pupils and staff on day 2 of physical shipwreck. It was rather a strange feeling yesterday having everybody here on site, but seeing pupils and quite a few staff this morning, once again coming in and out of Skipwith House, it feels much more normal this morning than yesterday. And even though we still have our safety measures in place, hopefully we can really enjoy the next 3 weeks. Rev, can you get us started, please?
Thank you, Mr. Howe. Good morning, everyone. Yesterday was International Women's Day, and the theme for the day was Choose to Challenge. A challenged world is an alert world, and from challenge comes change. So let's all choose to challenge. How will you help forge a gender equal world? Celebrate women's achievement, raise awareness against bias, take action for equality. Dear Lord, bless us all through respect, equality, and opportunity. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Howe.
Thank you, Rev. Straight over to Mr. Jones.
Thanks so much, Mr. Howe. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. As we transition back to life in the classroom, it's time to reintroduce some important academic routines. So in subjects where you would normally have prep will be set from Wednesday for all year groups, and your teachers will follow the prep timetable at all times. And you can also expect teachers to begin to award excellence points in the usual way, and I look forward to sharing those totals with you in the coming weeks. And the second notice I have this morning is about a brand new resource. I'd like to share details of our brand new Shipwreck revision website with you. So this site contains very useful information about the science behind revision, what works and why it works. So as well as this generic information, each department has its own page on the website with full details of strategies that work in that subject and lists of exam specifications for GCSE and A-level pupils. So we hope that this site will be useful for all pupils, particularly for years 11 and 13 as they approach their mocks in just under 2 weeks' time. So my thanks to Mr. Shaw and the heads of department for helping to build this site. And I'm just going to take a few seconds to show you where you can find it. So if you bear with me, I will share my screen. So it can be accessed via the pupil portal. So if you go to the main Shipwreck College website in the usual way, and on the left-hand side, you'll see a link to the pupil portal. If you follow that, the pupil portal will magically appear. At the top there, we've got a new tab called Revise. So if you click on that, you'll be taken to a little bit of information, largely what I've just told you, but importantly, there are links all through it to the new revision website, and it looks like this. So as I mentioned, there's some generic information at the start for you with some useful videos explaining some very popular and well-known successful strategies for revising, such as mind maps and how to test yourself. But along the top there's some more information about memory and how we can remember things more effectively using our knowledge of the brain. And there's a 5-step revision plan there, 5 things to consider. But also along the top there is a link to each department's page. I'm just going to pick at random on the history page, as I'm led to believe that's very good. So history GCSE. Let's have a look what those pupils will see. There we go. So there's a link to the spec there in case you're wondering what will come up in the final exam. There's a summary of each unit there, and down the bottom, links to other useful websites and lots of teaching resources there. Over time, your teachers will add their own videos to this, explaining what revision strategies they would recommend and what works for them, but a very useful start. I hope you'll agree. That's it from me. Enjoy the sunshine and enjoy working hard in the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. More than anything else, just to the pupils, what we want here at Shipwreck is to have a no excuses culture. And we're trying to teach you as well as we can. We want you to learn as well as you can. But equally, some of the feedback that we got was about, well, do we know how to revise? So actually what we're doing is we're putting all this information at your fingertips. So there's no excuse for us to be able to say, we don't know how to revise. We don't know what those techniques are. All that information is there for you, and it's relevant to everybody. So again, it's there for you. Please access it, and hopefully, I trust that it will be of benefit to you. We're going to go to Miss Mordew to talk to us about Photograph of the Week.
Good morning, all. I hope everyone's really well, and it's lovely all being back in school. I'm just going to share with you, I hope you can see it, the photo of the week from all the A-level photographers from last week, which was our last week of online learning. Eva's magical photo there of the wine glass, which reflects the image behind it, won, which was voted for by all the staff. Alex Davies, Charlie Neal, Elizabeth Tang, and John Corkabani did really, really well as well, and got really high votes from the staff too. We're going to continue with Photo of the Week during the next few weeks as well, even though we're back at school, just to bring a smile to everyone's face and to share our lovely photographs. Hope everyone has a lovely rest of their week.
Thank you, Miss Mordew. Fabulous photograph, Eva. Now, in previous weeks, we have showcased the entrepreneurial spirit of pupils here at Shiplake. And I spoke with Tom Stewart and Will Taylor at the start of February. But I was very pleased to hear about the efforts of another pupil, and this time in year 13, Amelia Baker, about a business that she has launched. So good morning, Amelia. And can you just tell us what you've been up to over lockdown?
Good morning, sir. So EWL is a business that I started kind of creating during lockdown. And what I wanted it to be was not just a food product, but also a platform which helps navigate young people around diet culture. Because I know young people are really influenced by social media, and I just wanted to help people learn how to eat real food, live their life, and just not be scared of what social media is telling you. And so with that came creating a food product that was simple, didn't have any of the artificials that you'll find in a lot of kind of social media diet trends, but was just really delicious. So, yeah.
And what is the product? What actually is the product?
Yeah, so it's basically a date. It's kind of a bit confusing. It's a date that's stuffed with peanut butter and buckwheat groats and then covered in Belgian chocolate. So the idea was that we wanted it to be like nutritionally dense, but also be fun and something that you enjoy eating. So yeah, it's really nice. And
have you had to design the packaging and things like that? I mean, obviously you've given it a name, but you know, and the ingredients. But how did you actually go about designing the packaging and finding who you would actually sell it to as well?
Yeah, so what we started to do is I started to make samples of like different ingredients and then give them to friends, family, and just anyone who wanted to try them, and then getting feedback. And then when we kind of perfected the recipe, we then moved on to packaging, and the amount of Pantone shades I looked at, and also just kind of finding out what colours you also associate with food. It was quite interesting learning that you don't really associate orange with like healthier foods, and so it was kind of also what was more aesthetically pleasing for the packaging, what drew people in. So that was really interesting to learn, and also I've always loved design, so it was really fun to do.
And who are going to be your customers?
So at the moment we're supplying it to a local shop, and it's really exciting because we've actually just had our second order, which is really good, and we're also speaking to other local shops at the moment, so hopefully going to be supplying to more people soon.
Fab, Amelia. Thank you so much, and all the very best with it. If you do need any further feedback or market research, please feel free to drop a few into the reception. We're very happy to give you a bit of feedback on that. But thank you very much for talking to me this morning. In music, last week we had the results of The Masked Singer, and Mr. Curran's going to tell us a little bit more about music plans for the rest of term. Mr. Curran.
Great, thanks, Headmaster. Good morning, everyone. I'd just like to share some upcoming concerts and other new additions to the music calendar of events this year. So firstly, on the 30th of March, just the day before the end of term, we're going to have another evening concert of music. That will feature some of our bands from year 9, hopefully year 11. From year 12, we'll have our virtual rock choir taking part, and there'll be some soloists as well to keep a nice balance. That will be a pop, rock, soul culture flavour to that concert. Then to usher in the summer term, our scholars will be kept busy. So we'll have our scholars and advanced musicians concert on the 23rd of April. And that is an event not to be missed, because where our normal end of term concerts have quite a popular flavour. This one we tried to stick more towards sort of Western classical music. So you'll see the performers dressed a lot smarter than you would normally expect them of a concert. But most exciting of all, I would love to launch today our songwriting and young musicians competition. Now, this is open to anybody in the school, and you can compose from any genre you like. It could be a song for singer-songwriters. It could be a piece of EDM. It could be a piece for choir, string quartet, or one of our bands at Shiplake. But it must be ready. It must be aimed to be performed at one of our concerts throughout the year. And of course, remember, Shiplake Rocks is coming up at the end of June, so that's a perfect setting for it. The winner of that songwriting competition or young composers competition will have studio time in our studio. So they'll have the composition recorded and professionally mixed as well. And their composition will feature in our Young Composers concert, which is in the middle of May. So lots to look forward to.
Fab, thank you so much. Really, really exciting. And please, if you're sitting there thinking, I wonder if I could compose something, give it a go. Absolutely buy into that. Mrs. Farrell, Seen It at Shiplake was one of my favourite initiatives over the last 8 weeks, but I think you're going to tell us about a little bit more drama coming up as well.
Yes, I am indeed. Thank you, Mr. Howe. Yes, again, a massive thank you for everyone who got involved in the Seen It at Shiplake competition. It was so much fun and brought a lot of joy and happiness, not only to the department, but I know the students that took part in it. So I've got a bit of a plea for you this morning. So we're running another drama performance, drama celebration, and that's going to be next half term. And I'm just going to share my screen with you, which hopefully you can see now. I'm launching today the Shiplake Does Shakespeare Festival. So this will be a festival taking place next term. So I'm informing you of it this morning, so to encourage you all to get involved. So a little bit about what is going to be happening. So it's really a celebration of all things Shakespeare and indeed all things drama. So what you will be expecting to see will be live and recorded performances, some rehearsed readings, some lunchtime readings in the drama studio, and some workshops which are explorations into Elizabethan theatre. And there are lots of ways for you to get involved. So a little bit about what is on the cards at the minute and things that people are working on right now in preparation for this wonderful festival. So we've got lower school. Every single member of lower school is currently in rehearsal of one of the 3 Shakespeare plays that are there. So they're split into groups. They're going to be performing 30-minute versions of Hamlet, Macbeth, and The Tempest. So they're in full swing every Monday rehearsing for those. Our drama scholars have already started submitting their performances for this wonderful celebration, and they have chosen to perform their favourite monologue or favourite sonnet from Shakespeare's works. And so they're recorded performances of those. You will be delighted with watching those. And then within the drama department, so staff and students, we will be doing some lunchtime rehearsed readings of our favourite Shakespeare plays and extracts. So how can you get involved? Many ways. So the first thing, you could do a little bit of what the scholars have been doing and choose one of your favourite extracts or even just a quote of a Shakespeare play. You can do this by yourself, so choose a monologue. I know lots of you do Lambda and you've got some of those classical monologues that you might want to share with us. Or you could be like some of our students who got involved in the Seen It at Shiplake competition and get your family involved. I can imagine mum and dad and the dog wandering around a cauldron as the 3 witches from Macbeth. So have a bit of fun with it and enjoy getting the family involved in all of this. You might want to sign up and take part in one of our lunchtime rehearsed readings, which will be in year group bubbles. So join us for that, or just come along and watch. And the final thing is, and we'll be asking staff and parents to do this as well, which is to record yourself quoting your favourite line from a Shakespeare play. So just one line or sonnet, of course. Or if you prefer not to perform, but you still have a love of Shakespeare, just send us a little email with your favourite quote, and we'll be putting together kind of Shiplake Shakespeare favourites in a bit of a montage situation. So lots of ways for you to get involved. So just a sort of early call for involvement. So if you'd like to be involved in any way that I spoke about this morning, then drop me an email or pop over to the drama office and have a little chat. I can't wait to put this all together to show you.
Thank you very much. Now, what's really important as well over lockdown has been physical well-being, and you have the opportunity to now spend time at school playing sport with your friends. Mr. Bradley is going to tell us just about plans for sport in the rest of term. Mr. Bradley, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Well, as Mr. Jones has just said, the importance of fully immersing yourself in your academic studies and getting to grips with that revision website, but we also need a release. We all know that we need that. And it was great to see everyone out yesterday afternoon. My first opportunity to see Shiplake in action, and all of the sports fields filled up with people moving around. Now, it was a fantastic day of weather yesterday, and the first good piece of news that I have is Saturday is going to be exactly the same. So Saturday morning, absolutely guaranteed, no questions asked, it is going to be sunny and it's going to be a lovely mild day. Mr. Met Office has told me that already. So I'm really looking forward to seeing many people arrive on Saturday morning. The buses are booked for your normal transport in, and they will get you here at 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, I was a very interested fly on the wall yesterday, listening to the Year 9 football coaches trying to select the teams for the 4 Year 9 football teams, and certainly trying to grab the players that they wanted in their teams was the staff's main concern. But certainly Year 9, you should find out who has been selected for your football teams on Saturday during your game sessions this week. And equally, Year 10 and Year 11, the rugby staff will inform you as to which team you've been selected for. Those competitions will not be house competitions. They'll just be an inter-Year 9 competition for football. And then Year 10 and Year 11, as mentioned, will be playing rugby. Now, importantly, for the senior school, for Year 11 and above, in tutor time this afternoon, there is a Google form that you'll be asked to fill in, and this gives you a list of options that you may choose. Now, heads of sport hopefully will be talking to you, if they didn't yesterday, today or tomorrow, to encourage you to choose your main sporting option on that form. But ultimately, Year 11, 11, 12 and 13, you've got the option of rugby, cricket, football, tennis, and across the whole school, if you're a rower, you should already be signed up to that, and your rowing coach has probably told you. So lots of information coming out, but tutor time this afternoon for Year 11 to 13 to fill in that Google form. Year 9s, you're playing football. Year 10s and Year 11s, your main sport is rugby. So I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bradley. I'm going to go over to prefects, to Carter Jennings and Nicole Dunn, to read out our birthdays this week.
On behalf of the Shiplake community, we want to wish a very happy birthday.
Bob, thank you very much. Mr. Brown, over to you.
Thank you, Headmaster, and welcome back, everybody. It's absolutely fantastic to see everybody yesterday being cheerful and excited. And that was just the staff, but also, obviously, the pupils. Welcome back. It usually falls to me to do the boring bits, so I'm going to do that very quickly. Just a couple of reminders. Housemasters will have reminded you a lot about the routine, so please just pay attention to those reminders. I just want to clarify the guidance on face masks, and they are these, very briefly, that different from last time, you are required, unless the headmaster knows of your exemption, you are required to wear a face mask in lessons. Okay, that's a change that the government has made, and they are strongly advising that. So please, face coverings should be worn in lessons. They should also be worn when you're queuing for lessons. So as soon as you enter a building, a classroom block or a classroom itself, you should pop your face coverings on. Likewise for meals and at any other busy times. That said, when you're walking around the campus, we are not, and I repeat, we are not insisting that you wear face coverings. If you wish to, if you feel more comfortable, absolutely please do, but you do not need to wear them walking around outside. So inside, but not outside. I hope that's clear. There are lots of posters around the school saying that. As importantly, I hope it will come as no surprise to you. Finally, that I'm going to talk about kindness and make some reminders that I've already made and that I know that the Rev has also touched on. Kindness to ourselves and kindness to those around us. You may well know already from your tutors that we have 4 themes for the 4 weeks remaining of this term. And the theme for this week is a very grand sounding title called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the belief that you can make a difference to yourselves, to those around you, and also that you have the strength to do that during times of challenge. And I would say that this is still a time of challenge, but you have the ability, you have the inner strength to do something about it. If you're worried, and it's okay to worry, and it's perfectly normal to worry, if you feel grumpy from time to time, if you have mixed emotions about what's going on right now, that is perfectly normal. But you do have some control over those feelings. You have control over how you feel and what you can do about it. There are people here to talk to. So you can rationalize those thoughts. You can share those concerns. You can ask questions if there are things that you're uncertain of. So please take control of that. Okay, sounds easier than I'm sure it is, but there are lots and lots of people here at Shiplake, you know this, that will listen. So please do that. However you feel is normal. We can't control how you feel. However you feel is normal. And as you know, I spend a lot of time retweeting stuff that I see on Twitter. And I came across 2 today, which I really liked. One, and I can't accredit these, I don't know where they come from, but they've always got a nice little infographic. The first one is, find out what is good for you and keep doing it. Find out what is good for you and keep doing it. So however you're getting through today, however you're getting through getting up in the morning with your change of routine, or reconnecting with your friends, or getting back into your lessons, whatever works for you, that is absolutely fine. And the other one, which I really like because it had an image of Winnie the Pooh on it, and I've just tweeted it, says this: always remember you are, and then it's got 4 words. So always remember you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. I really like that one. If you want to check that one out, find me on Twitter. So looking after ourselves, being kind to ourselves. The other kindness, of course, is the kindness that we show to those around us. And I know I'm repeating something that I said last time we returned to school. You do not know how the person sitting next to you feels. You do not know how the person sitting next to you experienced lockdown. You don't know their family circumstances. You might know some practical details. Some of those details might be very sad. Your friends might have lost a relative. Your friends might have been ill. They might have had a family member who are ill. So whether you know about the people around you or whether you don't, please spare them some thought. Please be thoughtful. Please look out for each other. Tell someone if you're worried about someone you know. Please tell someone. That's the responsible thing to do. Please look out for staff as well. I talked about face masks just now. What you probably don't realise is that staff have to self-distance and socially distance from each other and from you guys. And that's not us being rude, it's just a fact of life at the moment. So please show them some respect. Don't barge through the entrance to Skipworth if there's a member of staff coming through. Please give them some space. Give them a wide berth. You might normally give staff a wide berth, but maybe slightly wider than normal. So please be thoughtful. Remember as well, this is all new for staff. They're back in classrooms. Teaching staff are back in classrooms. Matrons are back in houses for the first time for a long time. Catering staff are back in the kitchens and the servery and in the dining hall. And this is a big thing for them. Maintenance, our wonderful maintenance and estates teams and our cleaners are back in houses and around the grounds. It's all new for them. So please look after them. Say hi to them. Stop and take time to ask them how they are. One of the things I've noticed about Shiplake, particularly in the last couple of days, every time I ask somebody how they are, almost without exception, they come back and ask me how I am. I don't know how that's happened. That must be a wonderful reflection on your families. maybe a slight reflection on shiplet. But what a wonderful thing, where you're rushing off and saying, you know, being asked how you are, but actually to come back and ask how we are. So please carry on doing that. You have no idea what a difference that makes. So please remember when and when not to wear these things. Please remember to be kind to yourselves and to talk and to share your concerns. And please remember to be kind to those around you. The sun's out. It might not be out tomorrow, so make the most of it. Be outside as much as you can. Go out and run around. You know where your recreational areas are. Spend as much time outside as you can. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Some really, really strong messages there for everybody. It's extraordinary. School has sort of reopened, and yet you've only got about 3 weeks to go until the Easter holidays. Not so long ago, I was worried that school would not return at all this term. This is a bonus. So let's make the most of it. Let's enjoy the next 3 weeks. Let's work hard. Let's participate in as much as we can. Let's enjoy each other's company. And more than anything else, please remember that the most powerful thing you can bring to school is kindness. So on that note, have a good day and enjoy the next 3 weeks. All the best.